YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host TKK and we are back with another video. Guys, tonight we're going to be talking about the LG C1 OLED, man. Listen, it's been about 3 weeks since I've had the Alpha 95 King. I had it positioned in my living room space. Went from 77 class C1 to 65 class Alpha 95 King. And I used it as a break-in period, putting it in my setup where I dine and watch TV and play games when I want to play with this immersive surround system that I have. It was great. It was a great space to have it, man. And so what I did was pretty much put my 77 class LG C1 into my dining room. And, you know, it gave the kids an opportunity to play on a huge screen. When I say the kids, I really mean like my son, KJ, he's 6 going on 7. So he was just loving the ridiculous screen that was in there. Plus that room is much smaller. So he was just going crazy about that. But finally, I got this TV put back into place. And so I feel like this is going to make for some really good content for me to just offer you some of my realistic talking points, just going back to this TV, right? After watching the same kind of TV shows, playing some games and things like that. Like my eyes are so adjusted to what the Alpha 95 King has brought to the table. You know, I thought this would be a great concept. So right after I roll the intro, we're going to get to it. Welcome back to the channel, gang. I appreciate you guys, man. Thanks for all the likes, the support, the watch time, and everything and anything that you guys have been doing to support me. We are definitely growing, grinding. We're going to keep it going. But let's just start with this, man. If you didn't see the video yesterday, I took it and what I wanted to do was just offer my initial thoughts about, you know, what quantum dot OLEDs are missing. Obviously, they're in their infancy. This is the first year. But the two TVs are definitely like at the top of the upper echelon, you know, spectrum. That top two TVs being the Samsung S95B and the Sony Alpha 95 King, A95K. If you guys want to be upset tonight, but it's all good. So yeah, those TVs are great, man. So Samsung Display manufactures those in 55 and in 65 class. This right here is a 77 inch. So one of the most popular comments I have received on my channel has been, hey, would you buy one of those televisions if they were larger? And guys, I would not. So the thing is, this is my first time having a TV this big. Prior to this, it's always been an OLED in 65, 65, 65, 65, 65. That's really been my thing. Even when I was buying the premium Samsung 4K LEDs, upper echelon TVs, they were all in 65 class. And for me, it was just always good enough. But last year, there was just something about that 77 where I was like, you know what? I'm about to go for the big dog. And I thought that the 83 was going to be too big. Like, honestly, guys, I was really close to getting that, but I was like, nah, that's going to be just too massive. I wish I would have got it. Trust me. Trust me. So again, the biggest opportunity with the quantum dots right now is that they are just not large enough. And when you're sitting so far, I'm literally about 14 feet, maybe 15 feet from where my head would be if I am reclined in my chair I'm sitting in behind the camera to where you see the screen at. So that's a basketball rim and about 4 or 5 more feet. You know, so I'm just, well, about two, maybe 2.5 basketball rims or 1.5, if you will. So it's just too far, man. What I need personally is to be able to really articulate exactly what it is that I'm seeing on screen, and looking at this 77 has just been great. So I loved everything that the quantum dot had to offer me, the peak brightness, you know, it's just the wow factor of the TV was just really, really beautiful. Plus I loved the fact that I was able to use my TV as a center speaker, because believe it or not, it sounded better than my center speaker. Now, I have a Sony baseline system, but that TV sounded really good as the center. I really enjoyed that, and I do miss that, but I digress. The 77 is larger, and that's what I prefer. I do believe that there is a such thing as diminishing return. I do believe that there is a such thing as a TV only being so good to the point where you just really can't notice like what's better one versus the next unless you have them both in front of you. And while I won't dive into any of the popular talk these days where people are saying that you absolutely will be okay with getting a cheaper TV, a cheaper brand. You buy what you can afford, you research what you want, and you come to a comfortable medium that's going to be what's affordable and entertaining to you. However, I am an OLED guy. I am a guy that will buy from the brands that I trust in with the features that I trust in. The input latency has to be on point. I want innovative bleeding edge technology in my TV, and that's why I got the ones that I've got. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get some gameplay going, and we're gonna talk about what my experience has been like coming back to this beautiful TV. This is the Living Room King, the LG 77C1 OLED. All right, so first things first, I don't know why my math was off, but the distance that I am is a basketball rim and a half, so forgive me there. But listen, Spider-Man, let's just separate the TV talking. I just love this port. This is an amazing game. This is on the PC. We will never play this game on PlayStation again unless we have to. Nothing against the PlayStation, but what I'm saying is this is an amazing port. I'll go ahead and card in when I did the video on the A95K playing this game. So the first thing about this TV that I'm just going to tell you guys that I missed is what I've already spoken on, was the size. The distance that I am sitting in allows me to be able to pay attention to and appreciate the detail, right? Like just looking at everything, and I'm sitting back with my head further behind the camera. I'm looking at the viewfinder right now. The quality is just amazing. I do have this running on a computer its base is an Intel i9 9900K processor with a 3080 Ti graphics card. This is my server build, right? So we run Plex on this all the time. That was just the application that you've seen running. But this thing is just amazing, beautiful. Look, I can tell you guys this. I'm gonna tell you. First thing, just going back to this TV, the size is going to be the deciding factor, guys. Listen, you get the right TV. I'm gonna say this again. You get the right TV, the size is going to definitely be a factor. You know, the A95K, it blows this TV away. I'm going to be honest with you guys. When I go to the bedroom, if I look at a show, I'm going to immediately be able to say, yeah, this TV looks better. I don't need to do a side by side, and I don't want to try to create a false hype with putting these TVs next to each other, because you would expect a TV that is not only a year older, but that has completely new and more innovative technology to be better than the older model. But the point of this video is to really just talk to you guys about, you know, how good this is after going to that TV, you know, and let me see, what do I have to do? All right, great. Let me go ahead and swing through a little bit. Yes, beautiful colors. Everything is nice.
Doc's enthusiasm, but sometimes it gets him into trouble.
Yes.
Before he hurts himself.
Very much so enjoyable. There's the music. All right. There's the music. So what kind of content have I watched on here? So I made a community post telling you guys that I watched some 1080p stuff. I'm really like binge watching Chicago MED or Chicago Med. What do they call it? They call it Med or Medical or Med? Okay, so it's just Chicago Med. That's a show I've been binging, man. I'm on season 3. I cannot get enough of that freaking show. I do really like Dick Wolf as a show creator, right? I got to pause here just so I can get some talking time in with you guys. He makes some great shows. He's the guy that created like Law & Order, SVU, and all the different Law & Order shows. And apparently the Chicago shows he has created too. I do have this turned up completely at max settings. This is turned all the way up. So I'm pretty sure that I am seeing some stuttering here, not from the TV, but from the game. But I've got like, this game has some crazy ray tracing situations going on here, but I digress. Chicago Med is a show I've been watching. I've got it in 1080p, streaming it off of my server PC. So it's a direct play, but the computer itself is not connected directly to the TV when I'm watching the content. I'm watching it through a 4K Fire Stick. That is my device of preference on every single TV, including the new Alpha 95K. I have the 4K Fire Stick. And listen, the content has been just amazing. It's been amazing. It's just been beautiful. Also, to add some native 4K content, I have watched a couple of movies, threw some movies on, some movies that I downloaded and I had running pretty much high bit rate. This game just, oh, I just love it. And the content was great. I mean, it's just enjoyable. There's not much that I seen initially that I thought like, hey man, I need to go back to the Sony. What it is though, is when you really start to see that there's a difference when you get explosions. You just see the bright highlights are just there for the Sony. Like it's almost immediate too. Like even when I turn on my 4K Fire Stick and I see the icon for my account and for my daughter's account, it's just looking at the icons and the details. Now, keeping in mind, I pretty much have both of these TVs set, the Sony plus this TV set pretty much like at it even, right? I try to calibrate this as best as I can to get it where the Sony is, where it looks more theatrical. But the brightness is just like, oh my God, it's crazy on the Sony. You know, but looking at this now, like even as I'm web slinging, it's daytime and my detail is there. Like, let me get up on this a little bit just so I could talk about this, like the shadows and just, you know, the contrast here where this doesn't look crushed or anything. Like this looks really good. I can see all of the blue here, even though it's black. It just looks really good. And this doesn't all look like it's one level of brightness. Like there's more detail in the brightness in this area versus over here where the clouds are at. So again, this TV technology does a phenomenal job of illustrating what I think the content creator of this game has intended for me to see. The TV's able to produce that in a way where you're going to be happy. This is also another reason why I spent so much time telling you guys months ago, get a C1, get a C1, get a C1 before you're forced to get a C2. And I also said that it's going to be this time next year. People are going to be saying the C2 is the best TV to get. It's a great value. Now, when I say best TV, I'm talking about an OLED. I'm not talking about, you know, cheaper TV. I'm talking about, you know, an upper echelon TV that is going to give you the black levels in the game mode and things like that. Another thing people talk about, they don't like the C2. The C1 has BFI. I've never in my life turned on BFI. Why? Because it adds input latency. So yeah, I don't miss that with the C2. It does not bother me because I don't use it on the C1. But that's not the point of this video. I have absolutely just loved everything about this TV. I'm so glad to have it back. I know I made some content not too long ago. If I'm not too lazy, I'll card it in. And I talked about, I came close to getting a 83-inch G2. I can't even find the TV now. It's really hard to come by. And I'm glad I didn't because this TV is doing me well. 83 would be nice to have, but damn, would it be just, it might almost overpower the setup that I have here. I would have to probably get it mounted on the wall, right? Which is kind of the point of the G2. And the irony of it is why I never get the G2 is because it only comes with a wall mount. I like the C2 or the C1 or C lineup because they come with a base and they give me an opportunity to be able to move my stuff around. You know, if you guys go through my catalog last year when I started doing TV reviews and talking about this TV, I had this in a complete different area. I had the window tinted and I had it up against the window to block the light. Damn, that flip was sweet as shit. Look at that red, man. Look at that red. Oh shit, look at the red on that truck. Gotta see you. Come here. Bam! Yeah, look at that. Daily Bugle. Spider-Man is lit. But let me know what you guys think, man. I love the C1. This is my favorite TV when it comes down to movie watching. The C2 is an upgrade. Those of you who know, you know. It's always going to be the conversation of you're not getting enough upgrades for the money. Why upgrade? Why spend the extra money? Why get the new one? There's not enough newness. Yada, 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 this, that, and the third. And guys, let me explain this in closing. My content is not meant to be trendy stuff, right? We don't want to make content that's going to be based around things that are going to be controversial. My stuff is shot organic. It's day-to-day stuff. you are supposed to be able to watch my content for the most part every day and be able to say, hey, I'm following this dude Sunday to Sunday. Granted, I throw in a review of a headphone or a controller or something like that. The TV stuff is legitimately like day to day because this is real time stuff. We're not capping over here neither. You know, we're not buying the A95K and the S95B and all these other different TVs just to make review videos. So I'm not going to be able to, you know, add on to the requests that you guys have. Some people have requested me to do different TV reviews. I'm not a TV reviewer. I'm a regular guy just like you. I just happen to be invested into my hobby a little bit more. And I have my situation in place where I'm able to, you know, kind of get the things that I want. I save a lot. I take my time, I invest. We calculate, you know, how we spend the money. We calculate what we're going to go after. You know, the A95K was designed to replace my C9. I got the TV for $2,400 collectively. Some people looked at it like clickbait. It upset some people, but the reality is that's what I paid for the TV, $2,400, because it replaced the TV that I got in 2019. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think. I love this TV. If you got some suggestions, something you want to see, something you want to talk about, if you still see some retailers that have the C1 and there's something I can do to answer it, a question for you to make that decision for you, let me know. I would love to do that. I appreciate the support. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Peace. God bless. Max love.